On the 27th of August, 1883, the sky itself seemed to violently catch fire and scream out loud in raw, terrible agony. An island resting quietly in the Sunda Strait exploded with such raw violence, the deafening sound was heard 4,000 kilometers away. Before that terrible morning, Krakatoa had long been a quiet volcanic island, resting peacefully between two lush green tropical peninsulas. Sailors had passed it for centuries, barely noticing the sleeping giant rising silently from the warm and glittering tropical waters below. Fishing villages lined the nearby coastlines, their entire quiet lives shaped gently by monsoon winds and gentle rolling ocean tides each season. Children played barefoot along the black volcanic sand, while their parents mended old fishing nets beneath the humid tropical morning sun. Markets in Anyer and Merak buzzed loudly with spice traders and merchants bartering endlessly beneath the shade of towering coastal palm trees. Few people realized that deep beneath their peaceful feet, immense pressure had been quietly building for centuries, completely unnoticed. In May of that fateful year, Krakatoa coughed out its very first warning, sending gray ash drifting lazily across the narrow tropical strait. Passing ships slowed their steady course just to watch, captains fascinated by the strange dark column of smoke rising into the distant clouds. For long weeks, the mountain rumbled softly, an uneasy heartbeat trembling beneath an island that most of the local people still deeply trusted. Locals grew used to the constant tremors, quietly telling themselves the volcano was simply clearing its ancient, restless volcanic throat. By late August, the low rumbling deepened into something far more sinister, rattling windows and shattering nerves for many miles all around it. On the 26th, an explosion tore violently through the calm afternoon sky, hurling thick ash 27 kilometers into the darkening air. Darkness fell suddenly over nearby towns at midday, while jagged lightning cracked through the thick, choking, and ever-thickening ash cloud. Panic spread quickly through the coastal villages as the ground trembled and the restless sea began behaving very strangely near dusk that night. Ships anchored offshore reported fine gray ash raining down like snow, coating their wooden decks and burning the tired sailors' aching throats. Through that long, endless night, the mountain groaned and cracked loudly, building steadily towards something no living soul could ever imagine. Then came the fateful morning of the 27th, when 4 catastrophic explosions finally tore the small volcanic island apart forever. The final and largest blast was so immense, it ruptured the eardrums of sailors sailing 40 miles away across the wide and open ocean water. It remains the loudest single sound ever recorded in all of human history, heard with startling clarity nearly 5,000 kilometers away. The shockwave from the blast circled the entire planet a full 7 times, registering clearly on barometers as far away as distant London. Nearly 2/3 of Krakatoa collapsed violently into the sea below, swallowed instantly by the churning, furious, newly erupting ocean floor. The sudden collapse triggered monstrous tsunamis, enormous walls of water racing swiftly toward the crowded coastlines of Java and Sumatra. Waves reaching nearly 40 meters high crashed onto helpless shorelines, erasing entire coastal villages from the map in a matter of seconds. Coastal towns like Anyer and Merak, once bustling with vibrant island life, vanished completely beneath the dark and churning Black Sea water. Ships far offshore were hurled violently kilometers inland, left stranded deep in dense jungles far from any trace of the vanished shoreline. More than 36,000 people perished on that single terrible day, most swept away by the merciless and utterly sudden tsunami waves. Survivors spoke of skies turned pitch black at high noon, the heavy air thick with sulfur, ash, and burning volcanic debris scattered everywhere.
For days afterward, corpses and pumice drifted silently across the open ocean, grim floating evidence of the terrible island-wide disaster. The eruption hurled so much fine ash high into the sky that global temperatures dropped noticeably for more than an entire following year. Sunsets around the entire world turned blood red and vivid for months afterward, with painters everywhere capturing the eerie, glowing skies. Some historians believe Edvard Munch's haunting painting, The Scream, was directly inspired by these strange and unusually fiery-colored skies. Farmers as far away as Europe and America reported strange frosts and failed harvests tied directly to the slowly drifting volcanic ash cloud. News of the disaster spread rapidly through newly laid telegraph cables, making it one of history's very first truly global media sensations. People across distant continents read of Krakatoa's fury within mere hours, a horror shared almost instantly across the entire modern world.
In the aftermath, survivors slowly and painfully rebuilt, their villages forever reshaped by grief, loss, and layers of drifting volcanic ash. Decades later, a defiant new volcanic cone slowly rose quietly from the old crater, and locals named it Anak Krakatoa, the child of Krakatoa. It continues to grow steadily even today, a quiet and constant reminder that the old mountain's ancient fury never truly disappeared at all. Scientists still study Krakatoa closely today, searching carefully for warning signs the old island never gave in time to save countless lives. The story of that single morning reshaped forever how humanity understood the terrifying power hidden deep within our restless living Earth. What once had been a lush tropical paradise became a graveyard. Yet slowly and quietly, new life began to rise again from the ashes once more. Krakatoa taught the entire world that silence before catastrophe can be far more dangerous than any loud warning ever given to us all before. And though the island itself shattered violently into pieces, the story of that single day still echoes across oceans and generations still. History never truly disappears. It simply waits patiently, buried quietly beneath the restless, ever-shifting surface of our living Earth. If this journey through Krakatoa's fury moved you, please subscribe for more, and tell us below which lost disaster we should explore next.